Hi everyone, this is Jenny Lee with www.digistitches.com, and I am so glad you joined us today. I wanted to take the time to answer some of the most frequently asked questions we get here at the Digistitches sewing room, and that is, Jenny Lee, how are you putting these large designs onto smaller garments, such as onesies and youth-size t-shirts, as well as how are we not getting puckering and how are we getting the designs perfectly placed. We're going to show you all that today. This video is going to cover hooping and hoops, both for commercial machines, semi-commercial machines, so those of you that have the 6 and 10 needle as well as the 15 needle machines, that will cover all of you, as well as those of you who are using single needle home machines. YouTube only allows for a 15-minute video, so we're going to move along at a quick pace. If you need to hit the pause button and rewind, feel free to do that. But we're going to cover a lot of information in a short amount of time, so let's get started. First, I want you to notice on this design, we actually place, and this is on all of our t-shirts, the top of the design is always going to be even with the center mark on the sleeve. All of our designs are placed that way. All of our designs look consistent then, and we're going to show you how we're doing that. We're going to start with those of you that have the semi-commercial and commercial multiple needle machines. Let me introduce you to a hoop master. If you want to save time on hooping t-shirts, you are going to want to buy this product. Now, I realize not everybody can afford a hoop master, and that's okay. We're going to show you how to use aftermarket hoops for your brothers and baby locks, those 6 and 10 needle machines, as well as the semi-commercial or the true commercial machines. We're going to show you the aftermarket hoops that we're using, as well as this hoop master, as well as how to use those without the hoop master. So let's get started. First off, this is one of the hoops that we like to use. I wish I could say that there was just one aftermarket hoop to buy, but honestly it depends what you're doing, the hoop that you're going to need. So I highly recommend the purchase of, this is a Mighty Hoop found at mightyhoop.com. This is made for a brother PR. It is 7.25 inches by 7.25 inches. It stitches a design that's about 6.25 by 6.25. This is the hoop that we use when we are doing a design that's, let's just say, 6.25 by 6.25 inches, and then we want to add a name to the bottom of the design that makes it 10.5 inches. We're going to show you why we use this hoop. So let me show you this first, and then we're going to demonstrate the jerky 9x9 hoop. That's actually the hoop that we use to stitch that Naughty Elf design in. So let me show you this one first. This one's a magnetic hoop, so it holds together with magnets. We actually love it because you don't have to mess around with the side screw that's on an embroidery hoop. It makes hooping so much quicker. So we're going to put the inner portion or the bottom of the hoop into the hoop master, and then we actually use a nylon or poly no-show, either fusible or non-fusible mesh. We like a brand called Floriani, but All Brands makes one that works well, and we actually just found one by Inspira that we like too. So any of those will work well as long as they are either fusible or non-fusible no-show poly mesh. I actually have been using, the last time I went to pick up a roll of this, because I was out, they were out of the fusible and I bought the non-fusible, and guess what, I kind of like it better. So if you're using the non-fusible, you will want to pick up a can of 505 Spray and Fix. This is a temporary spray adhesive, so you can apply the nylon mesh stabilizer to the inside of your t-shirt before you get started. I just think it's a quicker way to do it. Okay, so what you want to do is, once you have your stabilizer in your t-shirt, I want you to fold it in half, and you are going to work on a flat surface instead of in the air like I'm doing here, but for the purposes of demonstration, I want you to fold your t-shirt in half and then get a center line a vertical placement line down the center of it. Then you are going to slide the t-shirt over the top of your hoop master and line up that center placement line along with the center placement line of the hoop master. Pull it all the way down until the top of your hoop, which is right here, is even with the center mark on your sleeves. Then you're going to grab the top part of the hoop, place it in the hoop holder like this, lightly press down, and now you see why I love the hoop master. It makes it so easy to hoop. Look at that. It's hooped already, ready to go. And I find that because it's so easy to hoop with the hoop master, I only need one set of hoops. I don't have to buy two of everything. All right, so let me show you why else we like this mighty hoop. If you have a design, like I said, that is 6.25 inches, let's just say it's 6.25 inches square. This reindeer is a little less wide than that. And then you're going to add a name, which makes the design too large for any hoop. I like the mighty hoop because it's easier to re-hoop. So what you're going to do is go ahead and embroider the reindeer. You're going to leave the stabilizer in place. Then you are going to fold it in half and again find that center line like that. You are going to take the inner ring of the hoop like that. And then what we're going to do is slide this t-shirt over the top of our hoop master. We're going to line it up the center line. And what I want to do is get the portion of the t-shirt in the center of the hoop. So when I send the design to the hoop, I don't have to move the design around trying to get it into the right position. I actually want to send the design to the machine, hit the start button, and start embroidering. It makes it faster. So I'm going to take the top of the hoop like this, lightly press down, and I am ready to take this machine back to the hoop to embroider on. Now we are using Monegg, the 6.0, 6.5 cotton t-shirts. They're a little bit thicker, so hooping without stabilizer in the whole entire hoop actually works for these shirts. If you're using thinner shirts, you might actually want to lay a piece of stabilizer down. Let me show you this real quickly. What I want you to do is take the hoop like this, and then these are actually stabilizer holders. I want you to put your stabilizer in like this, and then I can show you how fast I can do this too. Slide the shirt over the hoop master like that, get that name in the center like that, and then go ahead and put the top hoop on like that. Having that additional piece of stabilizer will make it a little bit more stable for you if you're using those thinner shirts. Just try it either way and see which way you like best. Alright, now let's talk about using the jerky hoop. Again, the jerky hoop, there is a fixture for this, for the jerky hoop, for the hoop master. I'm not going to demonstrate it because I don't have time today. I want to actually move on to how to use these hoops without a hoop master, as well as how to hoop those garments for those of you that are using home embroidery machines. Alright, so let's just do this one next. This is the jerky hoop. So what I want you to do on the jerky hoop, and those of you who are using a home embroidery machine, I'm just going to use this. Let's just say this is a home embroidery machine hoop. What you want to do, this is a template, the plastic template that came with your machine. And some machines actually have placement lines already marked on them like this one does. There's little indentations here that show you where the maximum stitch area is. So there's one here, it lines up with the template and shows you how large of a design you can do. And there's one here that shows you how wide and how long this design can be. What I want you to do is, if your hoop doesn't have these marks on it already, I want you to mark those marks on there. I want on the inner part of the hoop and the outer part of the hoop, I want you to put the template on, and I want you to mark the center, vertical line as well as the center horizontal line, and also how wide your machine is going to stitch. So my hoop might be this big, but my machine only stitches to here and only from here to here. So those marks need to be on your hoop. Those of you that have a home machine or these semi-commercial machines, they include the templates. Go ahead and mark those dots with a Sharpie marker. If you're using aftermarket hoops, guess what? They don't come with templates. So what you need to do is, I want you to mark the center and horizontal placement lines on both the inner and outer rings of these hoops. And then on the outer ring, that's this one with the brackets, I want you to measure from the top of the hoop an inch down, and I want you to make a mark here and here. That's an inch up under where your topper hoop is, and down at the bottom as well. That's going to show you where your maximum stitch area is. And right now I'm only going to be concerned with how far it is from the top and the bottom of the hoop. I know when I send a design to the machine how big it can be. It can't be bigger than 8 by 8, so I don't need to mark the side marks. Alright, so what you're going to do with this jerky hoop is take your t-shirt and fold it in half. Again, I want you to get that center line, like that. And then, this is for those of you with the semi-commercial machines, if you're using a jerky hoop, or even if you're using that magnetic hoop and you don't have the hoop master, I want you to put the this inner ring inside your t-shirt like this. And I want you to make sure that the placement dot lines up on both the top and the bottom with the one that you made on the hoop. I want you to make sure that your hoop is at the center of the sleeve like this. Alright? When you get it there, I want you to take the top of the hoop and put it on top, but don't push it down yet. And then just make sure that the top of the design, which is going to be right here, is going to be even with that sleeve. And then you can push it down in there like that. And see? That's how you hoop it. See how easy that is? Alright, let me show you on that magnetic hoop. It's just as easy. I'm just going to place that like that. Let me grab my magnetic hoop. It's going to be the same thing. Go ahead and place this in the center. Like that. Get everything lined up. Like that. And then this one, you kind of have to be careful with because it practically wants to hoop itself. I'm just going to hover it over the top and see, it just hoops itself. Alright, now those of you that are using home machines. Oh, let me throw this in here too real quick. Those of you that have semi-commercial and commercial machines that want to do onesies, I also like this jerky 5x9 hoop. I don't know if I showed you this in the beginning of the video or not, but this will do a 4x8 design. It's a great hoop to have for those onesie gowns that you're doing those names kind of down the side of them, the applique names. This is a good hoop to have. Alright, so now if you're using the home machine, it's going to be the same thing. Take your t-shirt, fold it in half like that, and you've already applied your stabilizer to the inside of the t-shirt. I'm going to actually show you how to hoop an actual t-shirt. I know that a lot of us got away from that because we think that the just the non-hoop method, just hooping your stabilizer and then sliding your t-shirt over the top of it, is a better method because it's easier. But honestly, I think hooping's easier. And then your t-shirt stays nice and stable. Sometimes when you're just pinning a t-shirt, it's hard to get it back lined up and then your design doesn't line up. So let me show you how you're doing that. What you need to do, you've got all those marks on your hoop like this, is take this is going to be the outside part of your hoop. It works opposite as it does for those of us that have commercial machines. I want you to take the outside of your hoop like this and slide it into your garment like that, making sure that the top of the hoop is even with the center lines on the t-shirt and making sure those placement dots on the hoop are lined up. And once you get everything nice and square, take the top part of your hoop like this. Again, make sure it's in the center. And then just press it down. See how easy that is? It's really easy to hoop. If you want to go ahead and slide your t-shirt over hoop stabilizer, that's okay. But every commercial place that you walk into and you ask them if they actually hoop their garments, they do, and there must be a reason that they do, and I'm just going to show you how to do that. Now, I'm kind of noticing that my hoop is a little bit lower than I want, so let me just redo this again. Like I said, it's pretty easy to hoop and rehoop, so don't be afraid of it. Line that up. Get that placement line at the side even with the center of the t-shirt, and there you go, you're hooped again. And then you can just turn your t-shirt inside out, you know, like you do normally when you're doing on a home machine. And then you're just going to get these sleeves out of the way like that. And then you're going to put it on the machine, and you're going to hold this fabric and material out of the way. Sometimes you can use like little clamps, like hair clamps, and kind of clamp that fabric down. But I would definitely sit with your machine as you're embroidering to make sure that that needle isn't going to stitch onto the sides of that garment. All right, I hope that helped everybody. Again, this is Jenny Lee from www.digistitches.com. If you have any questions for me, feel free to shoot me an email at jennylee@digistitches.com, or you can contact me through my Facebook page. That is Digistitches Embroidery. Either way, you're welcome to ask me questions, and I'll try to answer them the best I can. Thank you for joining us today. Have a great, wonderful rest of your day. Bye.